Callous Mind Talking Head Livecast Episode 18. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another delicious episode of the Callous Mind Livecast with your host, the magnificent Callous Mind. In this week's video, I want to talk about Week 17 of the NFL season, and we're going to look ahead at NFL playoff round 1 picks. So it's going to be interesting. I want to start this episode by wishing each and every one of you a very happy 2021. I hope you guys had a great New Year's Eve celebration or chill or whatever it may have been. I hope it was good for you. And we've now made it through another NFL season. COVID be damned. We did get through the 2020 NFL season, and now we're gearing up for the playoffs. It's now win or go home. I hope your team or teams made it to the playoffs. Mine did not, but anyone who has watched previous episodes of this livecast series knows that I've had serious doubts about the Arizona Cardinals and Las Vegas Raiders' ability to make the playoffs for probably at least the past few weeks, if not longer. As a general housekeeping note, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I want to send a huge shout out and thank you to all the new viewers and subscribers out there. So without further ado, let's jump into the Week 17 pick results. Let me get to my proper screen here and we can get this thing done. Alright, so NFL Week 17 pick results. 12 wins and 4 losses. And all these games were Sunday games, and so we start with the Miami Dolphins fighting for their playoff lives after the Buffalo Bills, and that didn't work out too well for the Dolphins, who finished 10-6 but still missed the playoffs. And but I did get that pick right because I had picked the Bills. But man, them hanging 56 points on the Dolphins. Wow, that's quite an ass whooping right there. Next game up, Ravens on the road at the Bengals. I had picked the Ravens, and they did not disappoint. They win the game 38-13. Next game up, Steelers and Browns, and I had picked the Browns, and they barely eked by to make their first playoff appearance since 2002. So congratulations to the Cleveland Browns. They now get to play the Pittsburgh Steelers in the first round of the playoffs. Next game up, Minnesota Vikings at Detroit Lions, and I had picked the Vikings in this game, but as it turns out, that game was probably a lot closer than I would have thought it would have been. But I did get the win as the Vikings did edge the Lions by 2 points. Next game up, I have to chuckle at myself on this one because I started drinking the Jets Kool-Aid. I'd been one of the people saying that I thought they'd been playing well for most of the season, and I had picked against the Patriots at home, which was probably foolish, and it turns out that it was foolish as the Patriots do beat the Jets, and I lose that pick. Next game up was the Dallas Cowboys and the New York They Might Be Giants. And they were actually Giants in this game because they did get the win and would leave us hanging about the outcome of the NFC East champion until Sunday night football was over. So that was another loss for me where the Cowboys bit me one final time for this season, and that's that. And then the Falcons and Buccaneers. The Buccaneers finally score some points, or I should say again score some points, 44 of them to be precise, and they get the win at home against the Falcons. And maybe that's a good way to enter the playoffs is hanging some points on a division opponent. Next game up, Packers and Bears. Looks like the Packers did not let up off the throttle, and now the NFC playoffs route through Green Bay. So, but the Bears, even though they lose the game, they do still make the playoffs. So, good for the Bears. I know Adam might be happy because at least his team made the playoffs, but the Packers win at home, so that's no big surprise. And then, oh my, what is this? What is this? Raiders 32, Broncos 31. Ladies and gentlemen, I can say it for the first time in a while. Hoist the colors. Raider Nation, the Raiders win. That's right. Hoist the colors. The Raiders win. Man, I feel like I haven't been able to say that in forever, but now I have. And albeit, the Raiders missed making the postseason, but they did finish 8-8, which is an improvement for them, and hopefully next year they can take the next step and make it into the playoffs. They really need to shore up that defense. Jags and Colts. I'd pick the Colts on the road at Jacksonville, and they did not disappoint. Colts 28, Jaguars 14. And then Chargers and Chiefs. I'd actually pick the Chiefs in this game, but leave it to another AFC West opponent to give the Chiefs an additional loss. But to their credit, I believe that Patrick Mahomes was on the bench for that game, so they were protecting him for the playoffs. The Chiefs finished the year 14-2, and I think they're going to be okay. Next game up, oh my gosh, this is so putrid. The Arizona Cardinals lose again to the Los Angeles Rams, 18-7. Kyler Murray gets hurt in the game, leaves the game, comes back in. But this is just one of those things where, I don't know if the Cardinals will ever have a better opportunity to have gotten this Los Angeles Rams monkey off of their back. But wouldn't you know, they go on the road and they lay a proverbial egg. And they don't make the playoffs, and the Rams do. So that's all just very, very yucky. Next game up, Seattle Seahawks and San Francisco 49ers. The Seahawks win, and no real big surprise there. The Niners have been very injured, playing backup quarterbacks, and so on and so forth. So the Hawks, I can't believe that they had to erase a 10-point fourth quarter deficit, but they did, and they win, and so good for Seattle. Then the Saints and Panthers. The New Orleans Saints 33 to the Panthers 7. Not a huge surprise there. I would have thought the Panthers probably could have scored more points, but it's a good win for the Saints going into the playoffs. Next game up was Titans and Texans, and the Titans squeak out that win and subsequently make it into the playoffs. And then on Sunday Night Football, the Washington football team, formerly known as the Redskins, defeat the Philadelphia Eagles, and the Washington football team subsequently wins the NFC East and makes the postseason as well. So, but once again, Alex Smith played, so Alex Smith does give Washington a better chance to win than any of the other quarterbacks playing for the Washington football team. Alright, so before I get into NFL playoff round 1 picks, I do want to talk about one quick story. It's kind of a story that's got to do with the Raiders, and I'm kind of disappointed in hearing this story, but when you're young, you kind of make foolish decisions, and it's something a lot of people are guilty of for sure. So, oh wait, before I do that, I need to do one more thing here. Keep forgetting I need to turn that other thing off. Okay. Uh, this from, gosh, looks like it was from today, but I don't think it was. I think it was from yesterday. Las Vegas Raiders running back Josh Jacobs arrested for DUI hours after win. Josh Jacobs, the Las Vegas Raiders Pro Bowl running back, was arrested on a DUI charge early Monday morning, hours after the team returned from its season-ending victory in Denver against the Broncos. Jacobs, 22, was arrested after Las Vegas Metropolitan Police responded to a single vehicle crash near the McCarran Airport connector and East Sunset Road at approximately 4:42 a.m. Police suspected impairment, and Jacobs was taken to a local hospital because of minor injuries from the crash. After treatment, he was transported to the Clark County Detention Center, where he was booked for DUI, according to the LVMP Public Information Officer. Jacobs' attorneys said they would plead not guilty if the case gets that far. No complaint has been filed against our client, and there are no blood test results to support a suggestion of impairment. Jacobs' attorneys David Z. Chesnoff and Richard A. Schoenfeld said in a statement, "We intend to enter a not guilty plea on behalf of Mr. Jacobs if he is ever charged." The Raiders acknowledged the incident in a statement. The Raiders are aware of the situation involving Josh Jacobs. The team said the organization takes these matters seriously, and we have no further comment at this time. Raiders coach John Gruden said he was limited on what he could say about the incident. We're just aware of it. I will say that Josh is okay, and I'm not at liberty to comment on it until I get more facts, Gruden said, but we do have word that Josh is okay, and we're looking into the matter. So there's that. So I just want to say one more thing. I've said it before on this show, and I'm going to keep harping on it. Please, please, please don't drive under the influence of anything. This was, they say he was arrested on a DUI charge, which stands for driving under the influence, for those that don't know. And maybe he was impaired, maybe he wasn't impaired. I don't know the situation, but I'm asking any of you beautiful viewers to please, please, please do not drive under the influence of anything. And this becomes a bigger deal now, especially in the state of Arizona, as we have now legalized recreational marijuana. And that part of it was always my biggest fear or biggest reservation about actually wanting to legalize recreational marijuana, is because I don't want people driving under the influence of marijuana or prescription drugs or alcohol, for that matter. So please, please, please do yourself a solid and do your fellow man a solid, and do not drive under the influence of anything. Alright, so without further ado, let's jump in here to NFL Wildcard Weekend 2020 picks. Yeah, baby. Alright. Just want to make sure, yeah. Okay, so NFL postseason schedule 2020. This is the 2020 wildcard round for Saturday, January 9th. Features Indianapolis at Buffalo, and I will take Buffalo at home against the Indianapolis Colts. The second game on Saturday features the Los Angeles Rams at the Seattle Seahawks, and I will take the Seattle Seahawks at home against the Los Angeles Rams. And the third Saturday game features the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Washington Football Team. This game is pretty much a no-brainer for me. I'm going to take the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on the road at the Washington Football Team. Um, Not much more to say about that. I think, if this game becomes a shootout, uh, then Tampa has the advantages, and I think Chase Young is an amazing player there on the Washington Football Team defense, but I just don't think that they're going to be good enough to defeat Tampa Bay. And then on Sunday, January 10th, 2021, the first game is Baltimore at Tennessee, and I will take the Baltimore Ravens on the road to return the favor against the Tennessee Titans. As we all recall, last year it was Tennessee that went on the road to Baltimore and upset the Ravens. And I think the Ravens are going to return that favor this year. So I will take the Baltimore Ravens on the road at the Tennessee Titans. In the second Sunday game, features Chicago and New Orleans, and I will take New Orleans at home against the Chicago Bears. And then the third game on Sunday is Cleveland Browns at Pittsburgh Steelers, and I said in previous episodes of this very show that I would root for the Cleveland Browns in the AFC playoffs, and that's exactly what I meant. So while I do believe that the Steelers will likely win this game, especially now that Cleveland's head coach has been confirmed to have COVID and he won't be coaching, or I should say he won't be on the sideline. That doesn't mean that it won't be his game plan or that they won't be communicating somehow, but I can easily see Pittsburgh winning this game at home, but I'm going to pick Cleveland, so I will take the Cleveland Browns at the Pittsburgh Steelers. And that's going to pretty much conclude these picks, because the the teams playing are starting to get narrower and narrower now. So it's going to be interesting to see how all these things turn out. And let me just run over here real quick and just check and see. Oh, all right. Well, here we go. Adam's commenting. That's cool. All right. So Adam says, hopefully the Bears can beat the Saints, but they won't go any farther than that under any circumstances. Yeah, I don't know, brother. That's going to be a tall task to try to beat Drew Brees and the Saints at home in the dome. Do I think they're capable of doing it? Yeah, I absolutely think that Trubisky, depending on which Trubisky you get, that's I have my fingers crossed that Brady makes it deep in the playoffs for no other reason than to rub it in Belichick's face. Okay, well, that may very well be the case. I mean, I think Tampa is one of those teams that they're capable of beating anyone. But I also think they're kind of like the Cardinals were, where I felt like the Cardinals were capable of beating anyone, but they were also capable of losing to anyone too. So that's kind of the story of the NFL, though, I think. So, but anyway, it's been kind of a quiet, or maybe I haven't been paying as close attention as I should have been, but it seems like it's been kind of a quiet sports week with the turning of the page of the new year and all that stuff. So. You guys, if you're so inclined, you can go ahead and put your Super Bowl predictions in the comment section below. And be sure to join me next week when we'll talk about the results of the NFL playoff round 1 results and pick our game for the divisional playoff. It's going to get interesting from here, because now these teams are gonna have to start playing harder. It almost feels like, with no more pushovers. I think a lot of these games are going to be relatively close, except for Buffalo. I think they're gonna dominate. So, but we will see. We will see. So, hope you guys will be good to yourselves and each other. Be sure to join me next Tuesday, same bat time, same bat channel. And until then, I'll talk to you later. God bless.